When we first started planning the show, one of the things we discussed over and over was the length and structure of it. We tried so hard to make it shorter and more compact, but deep down I kept coming back to the same thought. I really wanted to over-deliver. It was not about doing just enough to satisfy expectations. It was about creating something that would stay with people long after they left the stadium. I wanted them to feel like they had experienced more than what they had paid for. That is why I kept pushing for a bigger, longer, more detailed production. It felt like something I absolutely had to do. I knew that the tickets would be difficult to get. Fans had been talking about it for months before the official sales even began. But even knowing that, I underestimated just how challenging it would become for people. The demand was overwhelming. People had to fight through online queues, wait for hours, and hope they were lucky enough to secure a seat. It was stressful for them, and I never forgot that. So if people were going to put in that much effort just to be in the room, if they were going to dedicate a day of their lives, and in some cases travel long distances, spend their savings, and rearrange priorities just to show up, then the least I could do was give them everything I had. That idea of over-delivering shaped the entire show. I want to go bigger on production, with lights, staging, costumes, and effects that would truly surprise people. I want to go longer with the set list, so fans could hear songs from every era, not just a selection of hits. I wanted the energy to be relentless, so that no matter what point of the night you walked into the stadium, it felt electric. And I wanted there to be surprises, moments that no one saw coming, moments that felt personal and unique to that city and that crowd. When the show finally came to life, I felt endlessly proud. Proud of the team who worked tirelessly to build something on such a massive scale. Proud of the dancers, the musicians, the crew, the designers, everyone who put in countless hours. And mostly, proud of the fact that the dream of over-delivering was not just an idea. It was something we actually achieved. And the most beautiful part was hearing and seeing that people felt it too. Fans were telling us that they left with sore feet, lost voices, and memories they would never forget. They were exhausted in the best way possible because they've been singing, screaming, and dancing for hours. That kind of joy is contagious, and it filled the stadium in ways I cannot describe. Being in that space, surrounded by 90,000 people, was something magical. The atmosphere was unlike anything I have ever experienced. There was a purity to it, an innocence almost. Imagine that many people together, packed into one place, and yet nothing bad was happening. No one was fighting. No one was angry. No one was looking for conflict. Instead, everyone was smiling, singing, and sharing something deeply emotional. It was the kind of environment that makes you believe in the best parts of humanity. I remember looking out at the crowd and thinking that this is what music is supposed to do. It is supposed to bring people together and give them a safe place to be themselves, to feel connected, and to leave behind the stresses of daily life for a few hours. That is exactly what was happening inside the stadium. For those hours, there were no worries about bills, no arguments with friends, no deadlines to meet. It was just music, community, and joy. The Friendship Bracelet tradition became one of the sweetest surprises of the entire tour. Fans created it themselves. They would make colorful beaded bracelets with lyrics, song titles, or inside jokes on them. Then they would bring those bracelets to shows and trade them with strangers. In doing so, they were making new friends and creating memories that were separate from the stage, but still very much part of the experience. I would hear stories of people meeting their best friends in line at a concert because of a bracelet exchange. Others would say they felt less alone because someone reached out and shared something small but meaningful with them. These were stories of kindness, of reaching across the crowd to connect. To me, that was as powerful as anything happening on stage. What struck me the most was that none of this was planned. We never marketed the bracelet idea. It wasn't a gimmick or a merchandise push. It wasn't a campaign thought up in an office. It was organic. The fans made it happen on their own, simply out of love and creativity. And maybe that is why it resonated so much. It was genuine. If we had tried to manufacture it, it would not have been the same. In fact, I often joke that if we planned it, I would have invested in beads. But the truth is, the bracelet tradition worked because it was real. It was born from the fans, and it belonged to them. That is the kind of community that makes these shows feel larger than life. It is not just about what is happening on stage. It is also about what people are experiencing in the seats, in the aisles, and even outside the stadium. When I think about why I wanted to over-deliver, it really comes down to gratitude. None of this happens without the people who choose to come to shows, who stand in line, who fight for tickets, who travel miles just to spend a night singing together. They give so much of themselves, and my way of saying thank you is to give back even more. That is why I wanted production to feel extravagant, why I wanted the set list to feel endless, and why I wanted surprises around every corner. In many ways, the tour became a reflection of what happens when people believe in something bigger than themselves. It was not just about one artist or one stage. It was about thousands of voices singing together. It was about bracelets passed from hand to hand. It was about laughter in the stands and tears during songs that meant something deeply personal. It was about community. And for me, it was about pride, not the pride of accomplishment, but the pride of witnessing what people can create together. I am endlessly proud of the team who brought the show to life. I am proud of the fans who built traditions out of love. I am proud that for a few hours, we could create a space where 90,000 people felt safe, connected, and joyful. Looking back, I know that the decision to over-deliver was the right one. It made the nights longer and the work harder, but it also made the memories stronger. It gave people more than what they expected, and that is all I could ever hope for. If someone leaves the stadium feeling like they were part of something extraordinary, then we did our job. Over time, the details of the lights and the choreography may fade. People may forget the exact set list or which surprise song was played on which night, but what they will not forget is how it felt. They will remember the goosebumps, the smiles, the hugs from strangers, the bracelets exchanged. They will remember the way the entire stadium seemed to breathe in unison. And that feeling, that shared experience, is what truly matters. So when people ask me why the shows were so long or why we pushed so hard to add more and more to production, my answer is simple. Because people gave me their time, their energy, and their hearts. And in return, I wanted to give them everything I could. That is what over-delivering means to me. It means never settling for enough. It means reaching for extraordinary. And I would do it all again in a heartbeat. Because at the end of the day, it was not just a concert. It was a community. It was a celebration. It was proof that even in a world full of chaos and division, there are still moments where people can come together, sing the same words, and feel the same joy. And those are the moments worth over-delivering for.